Do you ever feel that life is difficult, hard, or just a struggle? Like whatever you do, you have to work really hard for and you don't really get the results. So the idea here is that we have what I call a dominant vibration or a dominant state of being. And essentially, for most people, this is whatever their default state of being was, whatever this happenstance is from the circumstances of life, that they're just reacting to the experiences around them, not realizing that our emotions are essentially habits, they're chemical cocktails, and we can train, we can bring in, we can intentionally activate and create a new baseline, a new default of what our emotions are. So if we're experiencing a lot of challenge and difficulty in our life, I recommend tuning into the energies of ease, relief, simple. And when we tune into ease, relief, simple, these kinds of energies, for a consistent period of time, they start becoming our new dominant vibration, our new dominant state of being, our new default state of being. And generally speaking, when it comes to my clients, I find if you just start tuning into the energy of ease and relief now, like maybe feeling into your breath and noticing how easy it can be to breathe, just noticing that soft air coming and going, notice the ease of breath. And you can start tuning into that energy of ease. You can start noticing how relieving it is to take a big, satisfying breath and feel the relief of it. And so if you do that just now, while you're listening to this, you may notice some immediate relief. You may notice some immediate ease. And so then if you do that for multiple days, then you'll start noticing that it gets easier each time you tune in that. It starts developing a momentum, an energetic, emotional momentum. And then I found with my clients, if you do this for about 2 weeks, 2 to 6 weeks, but usually about 2 weeks, that it starts becoming normal. It starts becoming a new default, a new baseline. It becomes easy to activate, easy to step into, and it starts just kind of filling your life, because the way we feel infuses and imbues into the reality around us. And so then I found if you just keep practicing that energy and tune into it for, let's say, 2 to 3 months, it becomes very normal, and it starts attracting synchronicities. And really all the time frames do, but around 2 to 3 months, the synchronicities generally become very material, physical, real around us. And so then we start noticing, we start getting plans, ideas, and start taking actions that also create and reinforce ease and relief. So while it can be as simple as breathing to create relief, once that starts normalizing, then it becomes something that we can move into. It becomes something that we start getting the ideas to act on over and over again. And then I find if you keep that going for around 6 to 7 months, like tuning into the same similar emotional state over and over again for that period of time, then around 6 to 7 months, it becomes the tipping point. And that's a term I made for it becomes easier to feel this way than the previous way. So if you continue to tune into a certain energy for 6 to 7 months, it becomes the new default. It becomes the new way of being. And so this applies to any emotion. So if you're tuned into, like frustration or anger or whatever, that applies there too. You're doing that job you don't like, you keep getting triggered, that applies there too. If you're watching shows and you're just, feeling your energy shift all over the place, that applies to that too. So the idea is to intentionally, consciously tune into the feelings that you prefer to cultivate in your life over and over again. So like I started this video talking about difficult and challenging and struggle. So like what's the opposite of that? Ease, relief, soothing. So by cultivating these feelings for at least immediately or a couple days, or you'll really feel it if you keep going for 2 weeks, then to allow that to form into your new baseline, and you'll start experiencing a whole new life relatively quickly. And if you just let that keep going for 6, 7 months or as long as you like, you can have it transform into the essence of your personality, where it just really melts into your default experience of who you naturally are. So then that's the journey of creating a new baseline. I call this baseline boosting. And so over time, that new emotional baseline boosts into whatever you're pouring into, whatever you're feeding into it. Kind of like a vibrational soup or a vibrational cocktail, like that energy, the thoughts, the feelings, the focus that you're putting in then becomes what you're consuming, what you're expressing, what you're emanating, that other people can feel too. And I find one of the real magic tricks of that is then align with your unique essence. And that's what you're passionate about, energized by, improving at, and talented at, and the energy behind that. So then you can have your unique essence as your baseline and live a life that's fulfilling and passionate as a default way of being. And so this is something I love to help people out. I've written a couple mini books about it, and you can find that information in my bio or in the description. Leave a comment, send me a DM, send me an email, join one of my upcoming group coaching calls. I got a new coaching program that's starting, and so I'd love to help you have transformational experiences and live that life you desire and dream of as a natural byproduct of who you are by mastering these inner skills. So if you like any help with that, reach out, let me know. I'd love to help you have transformational experiences.